July 29, 1950. Walker issued 3 sentences. No Dunkirk, no Bataan, no retreat to Pusan. Break time equals in 59s. No line existed behind him. None. The kill chain. Today, we dissect the 55 days that made Inchon possible. At the kill chain, we analyze decisions, not drama. MacArthur's Inchon landing reversed the Korean War in 5 days. Standard histories give MacArthur the credit. They skip a question. Who held the line while MacArthur planned Inchon? 1 general, 1 rail loop. No manual existed. June 25, 1950. 200 North Koreans crossed the 38th. 150 Soviet 34s led. U.S. forces had no counter. Kleeblatt's research found 1 part-time analyst monitoring Pyongyang, 1 analyst. A Japanese linguist studying Korean part-time. Washington had 0 tactical warning on June 25. 0. Task Force Smith, 540 men, no anti-tank weapons. T-34 columns. Osan, July 5. 34s drove straight through the line. The 8th Army Walker inherited had been hollowed out. No organic tank companies. 10% combat veterans. 140-mile perimeter. Walker assumed 8th Army Command July 20, 10 days prior. Walker had served under Patton. He inherited the temperament. DTIC research documents Patton's direct influence on Walker's command philosophy. Patton raced reserves to crises. Walker used a rail loop. The Pusan, Miryang, Taegu, Pohang rail loop was the perimeter's nervous system. Walker used air supremacy to suppress NKPA movement by day. NKPA supply columns moved only at night. Losses mounted. 150 31st crossed the 38. Only 40 operational by August. What strikes us, Walker's real advantage was never the shape. His advantage was interior lines. NKPA marched. He railed. What would you have done? 4 simultaneous NKPA axes. Commit early. Risk everything. Hold reserves. Let the line break. August 1, 1950. Walker drew the line on the Naktong. The Naktong was not fortified. Walker had no concrete. The line was strong points, thinly held, designed to detect. Detection bought Walker time to move reserves by rail. Walker controlled 3 divisions directly, without a corps headquarters. Blair called this Walker's structural handicap, fixed in August. 4 NKPA axes pressed simultaneously. Chinjumasan in the southwest, the Naktong Bulge in the center. The Taegu axis north, and the coastal drive from the northeast threatening Pohang. 4 crises. 1 general, no corps HQ, no reserves. Walker flew his L-19 personally to every threatened sector. Reading the after-action reports from this period, Walker is everywhere. Masan at dawn, Taegu at noon, Naktong by dusk. August 5. NKPA 4th Division crossed the Naktong in darkness. 40 men established a bridgehead inside the perimeter. Walker committed his strongest armored reserve. He had no alternative. 10 days of attrition in the Naktong Bulge. Grinding. By August 19, Walker's counterattack drove the 4th Division back. Sources disagree. Walker's memoir claims he planned the timing precisely. Robertson's CSI analysis argues timing was partly forced on him. Was Walker's strategy brilliant or forced? Comment below. August 18, north of Taegu, the bowling alley. NKPA Honest and 13th Divisions attacked toward Taegu at night. 34 shells bounced the valley floor. Like a bowling alley. Official histories underreport one key detail about the bowling alley. Wolfhounds of the 27th had been in Japan 6 weeks. 6 weeks from Daris in Japan to night combat in Korea. After action report documented 5/6/90 NKPA killed at the bowling alley. Rocornes Division held the ridgeline, tenacity rarely acknowledged. NKPA at Taegu stalled August 25. Walker had held. Now consider the NKPA view. Winning everywhere, except Pusan. NKPA supply lines stretched 200 miles. Air attacks hit nightly. By late August, NKPA ammunition shortages affected every frontline unit. Be careful here. The NKPA could still attack in September. CMH records 98-0 NKPA in line as of late August. Walker's air advantage was decisive. The NKPA couldn't repair it. Pusan Port averaged 28-0 tons daily. Walker could absorb losses. The perimeter was a supply funnel. The balance shifted daily. September 1, 500 US tanks. NKPA had 40 operational 34s. Everything was changing. MacArthur's Inchon plan needed Walker to hold. September 2, 1950. The NKPA launched its final coordinated offensive. 40 North Korean troops hit the eastern sector simultaneously. The advisory group at Yeongcheon said, "Pull back." Walker disagreed. Walker had a card he couldn't play. Inchon date fixed. Inchon required September 15 title conditions. No second window existed. Walker had to hold until September 15. That was non-negotiable. General Lee Song-ga commanded the Rock 8th Division at Yeongcheon. Lee held 3 days. His men were out of ammunition. September 5. NKPA infiltrators crossed and cut Lee's supply road. September 6, NKPA armor entered Yeongcheon. Advisors said, "Retreat now." General Lee issued a different order. Die in place. Ammunition ran dry. Rogue soldiers charged Soviet 34s with grenades. The NKPA 15th Division was the elite formation at Yeongcheon. 6 days at Yeongcheon. The 15th Division lost 799 killed. The eastern flank held. The corridor split never materialized. In our assessment, Yeongcheon is the most underreported perimeter engagement. Walker's Rock forces bore disproportionate cost. Rarely acknowledged. September 12, 1950. The NKPA offensive had run its course. Walker's line bent. It never broke. That distinction mattered completely. NKPA supply collapsed near total. Air power had done its work. 125-0 NKPA casualties across the campaign. Most were supply-starved. Walker, 4 hours sleep since August 1, knew the calculation. Hold 3 more days. Inchon would handle the rest. September 15. MacArthur's X-Corps hit Inchon's tidal walls. MacArthur planned Inchon 3 months. Walker held for 55 days. The day Inchon landed, Walker's role became invisible to history. We're not speculating. Press coverage was total for MacArthur. MacArthur ran his press operation from Tokyo. Walker had nothing. Almond, MacArthur's chief of staff, kept Walker deliberately isolated. Every thread converged. The NKPA army died between 2 forces. September 16, Walker gave the breakout order. The 8th moved. The NKPA had no reserves. Their supply system had collapsed. 8th Army linked up north of Osan. 11 days later, of the NKPA besiegers, only 20 returned north. What strikes us, 125 casualties. That army no longer existed. MacArthur flew to Korea for ceremonies. Walker was not invited. Walker received no recognition for Pusan, not at the time. Chinese entered Korea October 19. Walker faced a new crisis. Walker fought the Chinese intervention campaign until December 23, 1950. His jeep skidded on an icy Korean road. Walker died. Congress promoted him to 4-star general in January 1951. Posthumously, MacArthur received his 4th star. Walker still held the line. Walker's doctrine was not written down in June 1950. Mobile defense, hold forward with minimal force, counterattack with reserves. Walker's advantage was the rail loop. Doctrine required interior lines. Army War College studying Pusan as mobile defense. 3 years. FM 105 written after Korea, codified what Walker had improvised. Walker's doctrine became NATO's Germany framework through the Cold War. Every US Army officer defending West Germany used Walker's system. None knew Walker's name. The doctrine outlived the credit. Walker fought without doctrine, intelligence, or command support from above. One part-time linguist versus 200 zero troops. Walker's intelligence deficit. The official history is careful here. Walker was not infallible. Task Force Keen near Masan in August failed its objectives. Coordination problems plagued August. Walker fixed what he could. Reading Blair's research, Walker never complained publicly. Not once. Armand undermined him. MacArthur bypassed him. No credit he held. Korean War 76th anniversary, June 25. The perimeter is forgotten. The forgotten war. Accurate in more ways than one. It forgot the commander who held the line before Inchon. Inchon is MacArthur's masterstroke. But masterstroke required a foundation. The foundation 55 days. One general, ground nobody expected held. Walker commanded on 28 0 tons daily against 98 0 pressing troops. He moved reserves by train. No manual had been written. He invented mobile defense because no alternative existed. Of all the commands we have analyzed, Walker stands apart. He operated without doctrine, intelligence, or support from above. He succeeded, not brilliantly, but where it counted. The perimeter held. Inchon was possible. Korea was not lost. 3 sentences. No Dunkirk, no Bataan, no retreat. MacArthur's 4 stars came while Walker was alive. Walker's posthumously. History is rarely proportional to contribution. That's why we exist. Walker's doctrine trained officers who faced Soviet armor on Rhine. It trained Desert Storm planners. They called it AirLand battle. The forgotten war. Forgotten commander. His doctrine ran 60 years. Full tactical breakdown of Walker's rail loop in the description. Your assessment, most significant forgotten command of the Cold War? Every operation we cover has a source list and description. Next, the Inchon landing, the plan MacArthur's staff opposed. Full breakdown pinned in the comments. Subscribe for next operation.